Let me just see your phone.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's like done.
Slower, slower.
No, I already did it.
Can you do it from a side angle? Like I didn't see.
This is so bad. Like that.
Can you give a quick introduction about yourself?
Hi everyone. My name is Rachel. I live in San Francisco proper, in Coal Valley, and I currently work at a tech company, but doing legal tech stuff. For fun, I play basketball, which I guess makes sense here.
What is your basketball background? How long have you been playing?
So I started playing basketball since fourth grade. And the funny thing is, the reason why I started was that one of my closest friends now, who played for college, she saw how tall I was, and she said, "Hey, Rachel, are you interested in playing basketball?" That was like fourth grade me. Had no athletic experience. In fact, I think I like kind of hated basketball at that point. But ever since then, she spent like a whole year training me to be a post, to be a center, because I was tall back then. And then I've been playing basketball since then.
And how tall are you now?
I'm 5'7". I
Yeah.
peaked at seventh grade. This is how tall I was in seventh grade.
What was your style of play throughout the years?
My style of play has something to do with my background as a post player. So the idea of like cutting into the middle, it's like whether it's from block to the free throw line, or like from the sort of like the wing to the free throw line. Usually that's where the open spots are. And similarly, it's like as a three, which is sort of what I transitioned into. Oftentimes you're going to cut from the wing to the free throw line, cut back down, keep going. I do cut a lot, and I think people who guard me hate guarding me because I run around the court. My favorite spots to shoot, it would be like a wing three. A wing three. I do like to do a lot of drive in hook shots. So from like the sideline, for example, I would drive from the sideline into the middle of the key, and then I will like turn and shoot, as opposed to turn and make a layup like that. But what I need to practice, I think, if I want to do that like actually more effectively, would be to actually do a hook shot.
What's the difference between playing in a co-ed league versus a women's league?
I would just say that, like in a women's league, people pass more. People pass more, and I think that there's a lot more opportunities for like the ball. There's a lot more ball movement around when I play with women. When I usually play with women, especially if I play with a lot of Asian women, I'm again the giant. I'm again that person who is the 4 or the 5, or like someone who's supposed to get all the rebounds, or guarding the big person. So that tends to be the case when I play with all women's league. The co-ed league is completely different. In a co-ed league, like someone my size has to be a guard. There's no way that I'd be able to go down to the key and like guard a man who's probably twice my size. In a co-ed league, my asset is that I'm a shooter. That is where I think my value add is most of the time on a team. And of course, I'm a very fluky shooter, so I'm not always a very dependable shooter in terms of adjusting. I just have to like figure out how to, when you're on a court, how to find the open spots, how to make sure that your teammates actually see you. And I think that's sort of the adjustment, is that also just getting used to how you move on the court, and also like getting used to how to play with people who don't share the ball as much. So adjusting to that is I think a big one. I think that's both like a physical and a mental adjustment.
How do you get them to share the ball with you? Do you have to earn the trust? Do you just have to like yank the ball out of them? Like what?
You probably shouldn't yank the ball out of your own teammates' hands, first of all. But yeah, I think a lot of it from like my experience of playing on a co-ed team, it is about the trust. It's about showcasing what your skill is on the court. And I think that that changes every game. Every game, if you're having a bad game, that trust kind of like gets taken away from you a little bit. Or if you're like having a great game, well, everybody's going to give you the ball. So I think that it is like the way that you earn the trust is just to be able to showcase whether you're a good shooter, whether you're a good dribbler, whether you're someone who can make space for yourself, whether you're someone who can be a good, have a bunch of assists, whatever those are, is like you need to show that. And then that's how in different teams that I've played for, that's sort of like how I've seen people and women specifically build up other people's trust in them and build up their own caliber on the team.
What kind of girls do you feel like thrive in a co-ed basketball setting?
Either girls who are really great shooters or girls who are great dribblers or girls who are like sort of well-rounded in those specific skill sets that of a guard. It's they're more easily able to adjust to the different play styles, just by virtue of, they're not going to be a post player. But on the other hand, I feel like post players, it is a little hard to adjust because you're always going to have a guy who's bigger than you who can easily block your shot. And so you're not going to be able to post up on a guy who's guarding you. And so I think it's a little bit more difficult for a post player to adjust. But like for girls who have like a specific strong skill set that they can bring to the team, oftentimes I think they thrive a lot in different co-ed teams.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing about your experiences.
Thank you for having me.